What'd you catch that fish on anyways?
A Slim Jim. Steven!
He can't hear you over the machine.
I got a tilapia on a Slim Jim.
He can't hear you.
4 pounds, almost twice as big as any other fish that we caught. That's incredible, man.
Yeah, almost a 4-pounder, and they're what, a little over a year old?
A little over a year old.
That's incredible.
So what's up, guys? We are back with another video. Before we get started, go down there, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and like this video so you'll get notified whenever we post another banger. So today we're out here. It is kind of sprinkling, and we're gonna go bass fishing or bluegill maybe.
So we're back at the pond today, right?
Yeah.
Back, you see our new dock? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's not ours. I wish it was ours.
Yeah.
So Houston has been challenged to a fishing challenge. Now, some of you may recognize where we are because this is a very famous 5-acre bass pond in Alabama.
Yes.
Built by a YouTube channel called
Bass Bama.
You got it backwards. BamaBass.
BamaBass.
That's right.
I did that on purpose.
So we'll get Steven over here in a little bit from BamaBass, but we're not necessarily here because of this pond. We're actually invited out here to Alabama by who?
Greg Whitstock, because he's trying to convince us to get us a big pond.
Greg the pond guy. You guys have seen Greg on our channel multiple times. But we're not in Chicago and his, amazing aqualand, aquascape. We are in Alabama, and the weather is crummy. Houston's going to go do a little bit of fishing. I'm probably not going to fish. I'm just going to video. But Greg has challenged Houston to a fishing contest,
Which he should have done.
I don't think Greg's a fisherman. But the reason we're here is because Greg and his team at the Pond Professors here, they're actually building another pond over here. We'll show it to you. Unfortunately, the weather's not cooperating. It's not great, but the pond build will go on.
All right, so is this a contest?
Yes. $100.
See, I see what you're doing, Houston. Greg said it's a $100 contest. You remember? Hey,
$100.
when we were
You good?
listen, when we were in Chicago last time, Houston won $100 off of Greg. I see what he's doing here.
He came up to me and just gave it to me.
Well, you won it in what he was doing, his icebreaker deal.
Yeah.
Yes, you did a good job, so I gave you $100. So this one is whoever catches the most fish.
Yeah, let me
Okay, in 2 minutes.
Just a second. No, first fish.
I only have about 2 minutes.
I'm cutting the line.
Oh, the
if he
first
gets-
fish.
I'll say the first
$100
fish.
for the first fish.
If he catches the first fish, I'm cutting this line.
I gotta land it, huh?
Wait a minute.
He cheated. I haven't even hooked my lure yet.
Houston didn't even cast his pole out there. He just set it in the water.
Wait, so where is my $100 at? You gotta give me that $100.
All right, pop that hook out right there.
Steven said, "Hang on, let me get my phone, let me get my camera out, and then we'll start." And
Got it?
all right, Houston, that's a pretty famous bass you got right there. You know that, right?
Yeah.
He has been caught before. He's 57,000. So I can tell you guys when I get back to my computer exactly what his name is and when the last time we caught him was.
He's holding out his hand, Dad. All right, hold on. Now it's for real. Now I'm gonna unhook this thing.
He at least gets to make a cast, right?
Exactly. Hold
Just,
on. Don't put your lure back in. Give me a second.
Hey,
It's all
Houston.
tangled up.
do you think Greg's gonna fish with that the way it is right now? You think so?
Oh my gosh.
Steven,
I'm the pond guy,
Steven sabotaged you.
Not the fishing guy.
So if you guys aren't familiar with Steven from BamaBass, you need to go check out his channel. This is his whole world right here. And he built this lake. It's a 5-acre pond. I call it a lake. All on YouTube, on his channel. And it's been quite the process. And this is the pond build that pretty much anyone on YouTube looks at when they're building a bass pond to fish.
Yeah, it took Houston one cast to catch his first bass.
Yeah, heck yeah, that's awesome. Hey, what we got going on? Is Houston trying to teach Greg something over here? I thought you were going to cast his pole out for him there for a second.
Right, Steven?
So yeah, you'll flip it over and then you'll basically just cast it.
Oh, yep.
There you go.
There we go. Hurry
Right,
up.
now
You better
flip.
hurry up, Houston.
Now every fisherman in the world is making fun of Greg.
So if you want to, flip it over and reel it left hand.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, that looks much better, doesn't it?
Oh, patience is not my virtue.
Man, competition didn't last very long.
No.
I didn't even catch it on video.
I think his is a little bigger.
Cuts it. $100, buddy. $100.
I mean, you lost $100.
I finally got my $100 back I gave you.
Oh, you got it.
Woohoo! Yeah.
I think yours is a little bigger.
Houston.
I caught the first one.
No. My line was not wet yet.
Oh.
I'd say that's about 10 pounds. Easy 10 pounds.
Listen, you gotta hold him way out,
Yeah.
like way out there. Yeah, see? Now he looks like a 10-pounder.
All right, let's see if he's ever been caught. All right, Greg. This has never been caught, so you get the name
Woo! First time.
You caught the virgin bass.
Woo! You want to shake on it? You said I get my $100 back.
I caught the first.
of it. Wait, weigh them. I just don't have my scale down here, but go in right there. And
Okay.
now we'll
Drop him back in. Oh, so then he'll be in.
You gotta enter that. Yep. It's kind of like what I would equate it to is like a microchip. Oh, I thought that pole just went in the water. Like a microchip in a pet.
Yep.
your fish is 69984.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Yep.
Are you sure? Oh, there you go. Look at there.
Boat flip.
Boat flip. You're on the dock.
I know.
69984.
Oh, I love my job.
Hey, are you going to name it Greg or are you going to name it Houston?
Yeah, you
Pond guy.
Oh, you're going to name it Pond Guy.
Pond Guy, huh? Awesome.
Pond Guy. That's an original name for a fish that lives in a pond. That's about Greg's attention span right there. He's probably on to something else now.
Second ever Alabama bass.
Sweet. Pretty cool. We lost Greg. He's gone.
Yeah, he caught his fish.
Greg, he caught his fish and he left.
All right, good job.
Hey, Houston, I just wanted to show you what
Yay.
$100 looks like that you're not going to get because
yeah.
you came in second place, buddy. Number two, second.
You better get
You owe me 2 of these guys. Mine.
You think anybody ever tell him he was fishing with his pole upside down?
I don't think so.
Ooh, got him.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, it's a tilapia.
You got a tilapia.
I got a tilapia.
Look at here. That is not a bass. That is a tilapia. Look at that. So Steven stocked these tilapia in here in the spring like we do in our pond, Houston. And
Beautiful.
he was just telling us an hour ago that he's never caught one yet. So,
That's the first
Still hot?
tilapia.
first tilapia caught, huh?
Is it really? Yeah, sure.
And where's Greg? Greg ran off and left.
Yeah.
So much for that.
That's the tiebreaker, isn't it?
That was the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Now you only fish.
Great. Hey, all y'all called me at the same time.
Man.
Yay.
Good one.
Yeah, that's the biggest tilapia I've ever caught.
Oh, yeah.
away, putting all those rocks in, getting that sand spread and everything else. I was doing the hard work, which was fishing against Houston. Come on up here, Houston. Houston challenged me to a fishing contest. I asked him how much he wanted to bet. And how much do you think Houston said he wanted to bet? I'm going to tell you my version of the fishing story. We're going to let Houston tell you his version of the fishing story. And then we're going to let you guys vote on who wins, okay?
Really?
Okay, so here's the version. I was handed, hold on. Now remember who the pond guy is. Just remember who I am to you guys. That's all I'm going to say. But I was handed a pole. Houston was handed a pole. It was to whoever caught the first fish. But my lure was still hooked up, so I was untangling my line. And while I was untangling my line, Houston dropped the lure of his pole in, and a fish bit it. Now, I hadn't put mine in yet. So I think that I should win because I actually caught the first fish when both of our poles were in the water. Now, Houston, what's your version of events?
I won.
All right, so by a round of applause, who thinks Houston won the contest? By a round of applause, who thinks the pond guy won the contest? Woo!
Dang, nice car, Houston. Did you win this Mustang in the fishing tournament yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got that what you bought with your $100?
Yeah.
So our rental car company yesterday upgraded us to a Ford Mustang. We were supposed to have like a Toyota Corolla. That was the only thing they had left. This and a electric car. I said we don't electric car very well. Anyway, so we are here because Greg Whitstock invited us. We went back to Greg's place in Chicago back during the spring and toured a bunch of different pond builds, ecosystem ponds that not this type of pond, but like what Houston's fish pond is in our yard. Toured a bunch of those and some big recreational ponds and different things. Well, the BamaBass YouTube channel started off with a small pond just like Houston's in his backyard. We may go see that today, but Steven has since changed his whole world with this big 5-acre pond. And what they're building here, what Greg and his guys are building, actually Ed the pond professor is here. Ed is the mastermind when it comes to this stuff. And they're building basically a recreational pond with a really cool waterfall right next to the big 5-acre pond. So we just got into town late yesterday evening. They've been working for days. We flew in, made the trip up. Actually, we were supposed to be, well, we flew into Pensacola, which is where cameraman Ron lives. He was supposed to make this trip with us for the next few days, and we're gonna do some fishing with Ron. But unfortunately, he's still in ICU and not able to be able to be with us. But we're still praying for Ron and hoping he makes a full recovery. Are you gonna get dressed or what?
I am. I'm really burning.
Are you cold? It's supposed to be warm in the south down here. But anyway, so we're gonna check out this pond build. We'll be here all day today. Houston's probably gonna be over here fishing if I had to guess. Where are you going?
Fear just went off.
This pond is unbelievable, guys. If you've not checked out the BamaBass YouTube channel, he's doing everything right when it comes to his bass pond. And as you saw yesterday, it's loaded with fish, and the fish feeder just went off, and I lost Houston. The bluegill are up feeding. They don't feed like that in our pond, do they?
No.
Hey, goals, buddy. Learn from the man while you're here, and you can go back and put some of this stuff into play in our bass pond. Even though it's not quite this big, but there's still a lot of things we could do. Did I lose you? Hello? Anybody home?
I'm sorry. This is really
You zoned out. All right. Well, we'll go over and check out the recreation pond. They're building this because they have a giant waterfall. They've got a really cool cabin here. They'll eventually build a house here probably. And there's so many different projects he's done, but that pond is going to be cool. They'll be able to swim and play, and it's going to have a dock on it and everything, and just I don't know, something cool. Houston, this looks just like your pond, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. About 17 times bigger?
Probably more than that.
I was going to say, maybe more than that, yeah.
If you want to see the size.
So, what excites you more? Building a pond like this, or building a pond like that?
Why are you even questioning me?
You could put fish, you could put bass and stuff in here too.
Yeah, I know, but you can't fish this. These are like your pets in here.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's going to do, is put his pets in here and the ones he wants to catch on a pole out there.
Yeah.
So that's why he's got the best of both worlds, you know? Building the pretty pond right next to the really nice fishing pond.
Yeah.
Lost Houston. He found Steven and said, hey, can I go fishing? Probably gonna lose him for a while. It's Houston, yeah. You go all the way across, he's got a fish on. I seen him with a GoPro, so the problem was it was got a magnet on it and he had it stuck on the fish feeder. Look at him.
I got one. I don't know where to put the phone. I mean the GoPro. Whew. Hang on. Here's fish. On a nice little chatterbait. Ain't that good. Alright, I'm gonna get him unhooked. Alright, got him unhooked. Let's get a good release on him. There he goes. It's too bad Steven didn't give me the scanner, because I could have checked that bass to see if it was caught. Oh well. I got another one. He was right next to the bank, so I almost didn't get him. Look at that. That's a pretty bass right there. Let's get a good release on him. Alright, got him unhooked. Let's get a good release on him. There he goes. That's 2 fish. So, let's go.
These guys are making progress. They've turned the water on. Steven's got a well that puts out about 100 gallons a minute. So they piped it over here just temporarily down the edge of the pond, but they've got pretty much the main portion of the pond itself completed. These guys are finishing up the pier. The waterfall's their main focus right now. Check this log out. They went and cut this out in the woods. Look, it's got ferns growing all out of it. A lot of that's probably going to be underwater, but this will be above the water line. So we'll have a sandy beach. Man, and the weather, as you can tell, much nicer today. Yesterday it was nasty and rainy, so we weren't able to video much. Not that bad.
No.
Come over here and fill this water coming out of the pipe right here. I bet you it's colder than you think. You won't want to get in it. I mean, you're bundled up like it's wintertime already.
Not that cold.
Not cold, huh?
We want walkways leading over to the dock area.
We want another walkway leading around the back edge. We want to have as much interaction as possible with the water feature, which is the whole purpose of a recreational pond. We want to meld these two different features together.
Hey Sean, is that how real YouTubers do this stuff?
With the beautiful bass pond, and we're integrating all of that stuff together.
I just run around with my phone and put it in people's face.
This is that piece that I've been looking forward to, strapping up some of the large rocks. Actually, right behind me right now, got some massive rocks that are actually going to be brought in. Those are going to be framing out everything for that beautiful waterfall to create the cascades that we're looking for. Remember, I talk about this all the time. We're trying to increase dissolved oxygen. This is a living, breathing ecosystem. We have nutrients being generated from the fish waste. Those nutrients are being consumed by microorganisms. Those microorganisms have to breathe just like
So as I mentioned, this is all kind of backed by Greg, the pond guy. You guys have seen Greg on our channel. He built Houston's koi pond. We went up to Chicago. We've been there twice to Aqualand. This is all Greg. This is all Steven. Two totally different worlds, but I'm gonna let Greg explain what all's going on over here and why there's so many people here working at once. So Greg Woodstock, the pond guy, right?
Well, the pond guy, and yes, that is Steven, but I would call this one more Ed the Pond Professor. So your fans on your page that were watching got to see Brian Helfrich. Those are the two longest guys at Aquascape. So Ed the Pond Professor has been with me for 3 decades. He's at his year 30, and Brian's been there for 28 years. So our goal with these events that we do, this is the 9th regional event for Aquascape this year. We started down in Puerto Rico with our first one where we built a water feature and orphanage, and we're ending at BamaBass, which is pretty cool. This is the second time we built a water feature at BamaBass, which is interesting because we're going to build a second water feature for you probably about this time next year. It's the fall of 2024 is when we have it scheduled. But these are regional events that Aquascape invites people who are either certified Aquascape contractors or trying to become certified Aquascape contractors. And this is one of the biggest events I think that we built. In fact, I think this is the biggest build event that we had this year in terms of the size and the scope of this project. It's a recreation pond. We did a few other recreation ponds, but not quite this big. So this is a training event. It's a ability for us to collaborate, just like we did with the Arms Family Homestead a couple years ago, or I guess last year, right?
Yeah.
Year and a half ago now?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And of course, the average person gets 3 water features. Big, bigger, biggest. So you're going to be on your second one, next year that we've already been talking about.
Yeah, I love our pond. It's awesome. It's amazing. The waterfall.
It's addictive. It's addictive. So all of these people came from all over the country, even out of the country. We got a guy from Canada here. We got a guy from England here. And these are guys that are learning, training, and creating social media content to expose the world what living the Aquascape lifestyle is all about. So for me, as the owner for now for 32 years, building water features, this is a great way to expose the masses to what living the Aquascape lifestyle is all about. So the Arms family, or the Steven from BamaBass, has got a pond 5 years ago, which was his when his pet bass and bluegill got to outgrow their aquarium. We put a pond in it at his house, and he has a great big pond. Why would you build this pond next to a great big pond? Because that pond's an earthen pond. This pond is a liner pond. That pond, you were not going to get clear water. This pond, because of the wetland filtration and the intake bay and the sand beach and everything, it's going to be a recreation thing for his entire family to get into, wade around, swim in, snorkel around the kids, and be crystal clear water, and for filming for his content. So recreation pond, you have a regular ecosystem pond in your pond, but we're going to put a recreation pond in yours because Houston lives the creek life. We want to live the creek life in his backyard, being able to jump off a nice dive rock into that pond.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. So basically, these regional events are for guys that are contractors that want to build these kind of ponds. It's basically training for those guys. It's
training for them, social media content for them. Some people have been coming to these for 20 years now, and they still come because it's like a family reunion.
Yeah.
We call these it's like an Amish barn raising. We got a lot of food, we got a lot of fun times, and we create look at this.
Yeah, kids playing in the sand.
So this is why I say I love my job.
Awesome. It really is amazing how much work can get accomplished when you have so many different people doing different jobs at once out here. I mean, this thing is coming together. This wouldn't You know, if it was just a crew of 2 or 3 guys, this is like a month-long project. Not when you got this many experts. There's a whole bunch of guys here that know a lot more about this stuff than I do. Still after him, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Here we go.
Nice one. Good job, man.
Thanks. Brought it across the bottom.
You know, trying to build a pond around here, right?
I'm fishing in the pond. Literally.
Had to take a after lunch fishing break, huh?
Yeah.
Catch some more. That dude over there's got a fly rod, Houston. Think he can catch a bass out here on a fly rod?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think he can?
No. I don't
know.
know.
He might do it. So Houston was hung up. I had to come over to the dock and get him unhung. And he said he wanted to switch lures, so I put a different chatterbait on for him, didn't I?
Yeah?
And I thought, well, I'll throw it off the dock one cast. Look at this. Steven's going to get his tagging gun. He's going to tag it. He scanned it. This fish has never been caught, but he's going to get some scales. He thinks this may be the biggest bass that's ever been caught from this pond. We'll see. Houston, you know what I'm going to name my fish?
What?
The goat.
So your fish is, here you go, if you don't mind holding them off. Film it. You in the background.
Yeah, Steven lets you name the fish when he tags them.
That's right.
I think I'm going to call him the goat.
The goat. Nice. 4 pounds, almost twice as big as any other fish that we caught. That's incredible, man.
Yeah, almost a 4-pounder, and they're what, a little over a year old?
A little over a year old.
That's incredible. This fish was 2 inches long?
Yeah, we put them in at 2 inches.
A year ago. Look at that. All right, buddy. See you later, goat.
See you later, goat. First time a goat's ever been caught.
That's not a bluegill, dude.
Yeah.
Is it a bass or a tilapia?
It's definitely a tilapia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. On a tiny little ultralight.
Where's he at?
Where'd you catch that fish on anyways?
A Slim Jim. Steven!
He can't hear you over the
I
machine.
got a tilapia on a Slim Jim.
He can't hear you. Walk him over. It's crazy how they've lost all their color. They're usually like kind of gray and black striped, you know?
Yeah, I'm blue too sometimes.
Oh, I don't want to go pick that fish up. I got in trouble yesterday for picking your fish up.
This man could have easily broke the line on it.
But he didn't. You need to be eating these things for dinner, man.
Yeah.
So when we get home, maybe we should try fishing our pond with some Slim Jims.
Yeah. Look at that.
Houston's
so cool.
Houston was wanting to catch some bluegill, and Steven said, "Here, use some of this fish food because that's what they eat. But it's hard to keep fish food on a hook." I said, "Well, I could tear up a little piece of Slim Jim, and it would look like a piece of their fish food." And that's what Houston caught. A big old giant tilapia.
That is so big. That's 0. Let's lift it up. 2.68 pounds.
Over a 2.5-pound tilapia.
That's bigger than the bass I've been catching, I'm pretty sure.
All right, let's let him go, even though all of these tilapia are going to die in a few weeks maybe a month.
Yeah.
Because once the water temperatures drop below, I believe it's 50 degrees, these tilapia will all die off. But they spawn. We have these in our pond at home. You guys saw us stock them in there. And they, really, dude? Man, they spawn every 3 weeks and reproduce tons of food for the bass. That's why Steven's got 4-pound 1-year-old bass in here.
Yeah.
What do you got this time?
I don't know.
Bluegill.
Caught all of the species now that are in the spawn. Or
Yep.
that are catchable and eatable.
Catchable and edible, huh? That one's a spinner fish. All right, your fish, your hook. I don't want to get in trouble for holding it.
You're not.
Well, I did yesterday.
Only if it's a big fish.
Whenever you're ready,
I'm trying.
I'm gonna go back over here and watch these guys work.
Goodbye.
All right, have fun.
Alright.
Look at that. There's an entire forest coming in on a trailer. Looks a lot different than it did this morning. You think it looks different than it did this morning?
What?
I said, do you think it looks different than it did this morning?
Definitely does.
They're just almost finished with the top of the waterfall up there. We'll see if we can get them to turn it on today or not. Well, I don't know for sure if these guys are going to get this thing turned on today or not. They're really trying hard. We're losing light quickly. You know, it gets dark really early now with this time change, and we're on like the very far east side of the Central Time Zone. But this is our last day here. Houston and I are headed out. We're going to slide over into Mississippi tomorrow. There's a yacht over there, and there's a couple other things we're going to go see. So we got plans. I was really hoping they get this thing turned on. They still may this evening, but either way, we made it to Alabama, to the famous BamaBass pond, and we're going home with two records. Houston caught the first ever tilapia out of BamaBass's pond, and I've got the record for the largest bass, which is pretty incredible considering he put these things in here a little over a year ago at 2 inches long. And the thing's almost 4 pounds. And he scanned it, put a chip in it. It will forever be known as the GOAT, greatest of all time. Look at that guy holding down a shovel over there. So, anybody see Houston? Every time I turn around, he's over there. I'm not complaining. Rigging up a fishing pole, though. You keep trying all you want, but you're not going to beat my record, man. I am the record holder for the largest bass ever caught out of this pond.
And I am the record holder for the most tilapia and the first 2 tilapia ever caught in this pond.
Only 2. Still.
Which means that's 2 different records.
No, baloney.
Oh, yeah, and I got more than you.
Well, do you think they're going to get the waterfall turned on today?
No, not really.
You don't think so?
No.
They're getting close. I think they can. I think they can. Think it's a bass or a tilapia? Nice. Woo!
Are you going to check it out and see if he's got a tag?
Yeah.
Houston, you're getting dangerously close to being put to work. Sun's about to set.
That's when the real fish would start.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
I think now's go time, man. There's no water flowing over the waterfalls yet, but I think even if they don't get it by dark, Greg's planning on continuing everybody going until we can turn this thing on. But it's definitely close. Y'all got another one? Did you reel it in, Sarah? Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah.
You want to scan it?
Yeah.
Here you go.
We'll show you how it works. So you push that little button right in between them, and put it right there, and push the button. You're working down him. Never been caught before. Need a hand with a hook. Alright, we'll say bye to him.
He gone. So I know we've talked and shown and done and fished and done all the things and shown the pond and other ponds, but I don't think I've actually introduced, I know I haven't actually introduced the owners of this place. The owners, the faces behind, well, pretty much really always behind the camera on the BamaBass YouTube channel. So used to, there were some fishing videos where you would see this guy. I don't think we've seen your face on video in a couple of years.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 years.
We see Liz and Sarah, but we don't ever see this guy. But so what really inspired you to do all of this and all of this and everything that you're doing here on the BamaBass channel?
Just grew up, you know. So just growing up, loved fishing just like this little guy. He reminds me of him. And look at him, look at him.
Sarah, you want it?
Sarah, you want to reel it in?
They're providing all the action. Get him, Sarah. Look at him jumping.
You strong?
Get him, Sarah.
I'd say that right there pretty much answers that question, right?
Yeah, we want to raise him just like we were raised. Hold it down. He's got a tag, 570283. So we'll look him up and we'll see what his name is. All right?
Hey, Dad, take a picture.
You good?
We'll continue.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that pretty much answers the question right there. That's why we do this
We'll
stuff.
raise them just like we were raised up.
Yeah.
And give them, a great place to get out here and enjoy the outdoors, catch some fish, and have a good time, just like he's having. He is you taught him well. He's caught half the fish in the pond, I think.
He's ate up with it, man. And this pond's amazing. You've done an incredible job here, guys. If you've never seen their channel, BamaBass on YouTube, go check it out. It's awesome. And this thing, to see the finished product, you're gonna have to go check it out on his channel, because we're leaving today. This is our last day here. We just kind of wanted to come over for the build process for a day or two.
We appreciate it.
I'm sure there'll be a bunch of videos on this thing.
Plenty of content on it, and I've enjoyed having you guys out here.
Yeah, so it'll be really cool, because you'll have a place to bass fish and a place to get in and enjoy and
see our pets
and see the fish and
see the underwater views. Having these bass.
Well, that's awesome. Cool. Thanks for having us out.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. These kids are about to go wild.
I get it. I understand. Mine's a little older. He's a little more self-sufficient.
I'm overwhelmed with the amount of bass I've caught.
Well, Houston was right. We're not going to get to see him turn the waterfall on tonight. I think it's going to be tomorrow before they actually turn it on. And we're leaving town. We've actually got about a 4-hour drive tonight. I was thinking it was more like 2, but it's about 4. But we're going to see some friends in Mississippi, do some other stuff. We'll bring you guys along, I'm sure. This pond build though is incredible, and like I said, if you haven't checked out the BamaBass YouTube channel, go follow them.
Yes.
Greg Whitstock, the pond guy, you guys have seen him. This is a project for, well, that's being kind of led up by Ed the pond professor. So big YouTube collaboration, all the things. So guys, we didn't get to see the finished product, but I promise you can see it over on the BamaBass YouTube channel soon. I don't know when you'll have the videos up, but you'll probably see this thing on a lot of videos over there.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm tired. You gonna drive us up there?
No.
No. Well, you can wrap this video up and we can go find some food.
So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.